Hey guys, welcome back to Axis and Allies, the Garrison. This is your host, Detroit, with another episode of the YouTube Wars. All right, we're coming to you from the bunker here in Rochelle Park, New Jersey, with one of the last few episodes in round 9 of season 2 of the YouTube Wars. It's been quite a game. It's been quite a fantastic game that we've been playing since early February. Okay, I have definitely learned so much throughout my experience here. Tell you what, I thought that season 1 I had learned a lot about the game involving the strategies and tactics of Axis and Allies in general, in particular, including the BBR rule set. But season 2 has even expanded my horizons even further. Okay, I've been able to learn so much more, and in part that's because of my friends that I have been playing this game with for seasons 1 and 2. Okay, both my allies and opponents, thanks to them, I have been able to learn a lot. It's just my paradigm in regards to the game has expanded as a result. But not only that, I've also learned much about the game because of the questions and commentaries and viewpoints that you guys present in your own commentaries. So thank you also as well, because I very much appreciate your commentaries, and honestly, I get to learn from them as well. So thank you so much. So where are we currently in the game? Okay, obviously it's at episode 8.3. It's Imperial Japan's turn. The Axis powers have been able, up to this point in the game, to accumulate a total of 10 victory points. That means that the Axis so far are shy of 2 additional victory points that are required in order to achieve the 12 points that we must maintain as the Axis powers all the way through round 8. Okay, now as the Imperial Japanese commander, it is my intent this turn to be able to achieve the victory objective point of the Pacific Islands and the invasion of the Hawaiian Islands. These are 2 critical points that Japan must acquire if the Axis powers are to win this game. And remember, not only must we achieve these victory points, but we must also maintain them. All right, so there's also a possibility that we may lose Calcutta. All right, or potentially also the Southeast Asia victory point. Okay, so it's going to be tough, but there's also an additional possibility that later on this round, during Italy's turn, Italy may yet still be able to achieve another victory point or victory objective point of New Rome. Okay, so we still have options. It is an uphill struggle for the Axis powers, but guess what? We have faith that in the end, the Axis will be the victors. Okay, we're not yet giving up. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are involving the strategies and tactics that we're using in this game. We have learned so much due to your commentaries as well. So we look forward to them. As always, enjoy this episode and let me know what those thoughts are. All right, YouTube, it is Japan's turn. It is episode 8.3, and I am the commander of the Imperial Japanese force. The Japanese are going to be very active this turn. I'm making use of colored chips to help me with all the combat movements and all of the non-combat movements, and as well as using red chips to point out where the actual combats will take place. Red is combat, green are the combat movements, and the blues are the non-combat movements. I had to make use of this color-coded system in order to aid me with all the movements and combat movements and combats that I'll be declaring for Japan this turn. So Japan starts this turn with a total of 39 NPCs. Japan will be purchasing 3 fighter squadrons and 3 newly recruited infantry divisions from mainland Japan. All right, so let's go ahead and make our combat movements, and they are as follows. Here you have in Season 43, 1 Japanese submarine moving south at a movement of 1, and it'll be attacking the Anzac submarine in Season 42. Okay, that attack will be accompanied by a secondary Japanese submarine coming in, all right, into Season 44 as well. All right, so the second battle will be for the Anzac Destroyer in Season 46. All right, this attack will be performed by one Japanese submarine coming from Season 44 at a movement of 1 and 2. This attack will be supported by 2 fighters and 1 tactical bomber squadron coming from the aircraft carriers in Season 33. And these aircraft will be moving in for the attack at a movement of 1. So all of these fighters will have 3 movements left in their fuel gauges. All right. So, by the way, the battle for Season 42, Joe declared that this submarine will be submerging. So, in essence, this submarine will not incur any damage at all because it is now considered to be submerged. All right, so let's continue then with the battle then for Season 35. This Anzac naval submarine, okay, will be attacked by a Japanese destroyer coming from Season 6 at a movement of 1, 2, and 3. This attack will be supported by 1 Japanese fighter squadron coming from Japan at a movement of 1, 2, 3, and 4. This fighter squadron will have 1 movement left in its fuel gauge. And the attack will also be supported by an additional tactical bomber coming from Season 33 from one of the carriers in that season at a movement of 1 and 2. All right, this tactical bomber will have 3 movements, no correction, will have 2 movements left in its fuel gauge. There we go. So the attack will consist of 1 tactical bomber, 1 fighter, and 1 destroyer attacking the single Anzac submarine in season number 35. All right, big battle here. The big, not a big battle, but a battle of great importance because it is the attack that will take place in the Hawaiian Islands. This attack will be consisting of 1 naval transport coming from from the Carolina Islands. This naval transport will be coming in at a movement of 1, 2, and 3. And of course, this naval transport can move 3 movements because there is a naval base in or at the Carolina Islands. Of course, this transport will unload its complement of 1 infantry, 1 artillery. In addition to that attack, you have a secondary naval transport coming from Season 25 off the coast of Midway Island at a movement of 1. All right. And this naval transport will also unload its complement of 1 infantry and 1 artillery. The attack to the Hawaiian Islands will be supported by the 1 tactical bomber coming from the carrier, okay, in Season 25 at a movement of 1 and 2. This tactical bomber will have 2 movements left in its fuel gauge. So let's show that here. All right. In addition, the attack will be supported by a movement of 1 by a battleship coming from Season 25. And this will be, okay, from an offshore naval bombardment coming from the battleship Nagato. Okay, that is the attack. So defending Hawaii, you'll have an allied force of 1 fighter, 1 infantry, and 1 U.S. mechanized infantry divisions defending. The attacking components will be Japanese, 2 infantry, 2 artillery divisions, 1 fighter, and the offshore naval bombardment. All right. And last but not least, okay, actually, no, I still have 1 more battle after this, but the attack or the invasion of the Aleutian Islands, you have 1 Japanese naval transport picking up 2 infantry at a movement of 1 and 2. These 2 infantry will be unloaded and will be occupying the Aleutian Islands. This attack, of course, this amphibious operation is unopposed. There are no current allied forces defending the Aleutian Islands. Okay, and last but not least, the attack on Season 20. You have 1 Anzac destroyer defending Season 20. This attack will be supported by, or be carried out by, 1 Japanese submarine moving at a movement of 1 and 2. Okay, this attack will also be supported by a Japanese fighter coming from Japan itself at a movement of 1, 2, and 3. This fighter squadron will have 2 movements left in its fuel gauge. Okay. Right, I think that does it for the declared attacks. I don't believe I'm forgetting anything here. Right, yeah, I don't believe I'm forgetting anything. Let's go ahead then with the actual battles, guys. So let me take my battle board here and let's perform and roll some die. Let's have some fun. I have to admit, I'm a little bit nervous and anxious. It is the end of this great game that I've been playing, that we have been playing. It's been a lot of fun, I have to say. My friends, my allies, and my opponents, tell you what, they're a great bunch of guys. They have really, you know, what can I say? They're really decent guys that have helped me personally as far as learning how to play this game and how to be a better overall Axis and Allies player. And I got to tip my hat off to these guys who have been there in every sense of the word. Guys, my brothers, thank you so much. So let's go ahead and continue with this great game and let's roll some dice. All right, battle for Season 42. You have 1 Anzac. Okay, there's no battle here. I forgot this submarine is submerging. Scratch that. Let's in turn go to battle for Season 46. In this attack, you'll have 1 Japanese submarine attacking at 2. Then you have 2 fighters attacking at 2 fighters attacking at 3, right? And 1 tactical bomber attacking at 4. Okay. The Anzacs are defending with 1 destroyer at 1 die roll at 2. All right, so here we go. Let's roll some dice. Here we go. All right, 1 hit. Okay, so all out of the 4 dice that I rolled, 1 was a hit. The Anzac destroyer now gets to defend itself. Let's see how successful it is. There we go. 1 die at a die roll of 2 or less. Guess what? Got a hit. So I got to take a casualty out. And of course, I'll be taking out my Japanese submarine. And of course, the Anzac destroyer is also sunk to the bottom of the sea. So they both neutralize each other on the Anzac return fire. Okay. Battle for Season 35. This is a key battle. It's a key battle because you have a U.S. fleet in Season 54 that is still threatening not only the U.S. but also an Anzac naval transport that can still retake the Philippines. So the U.S. needs to clear Season 35 in order to be able to reinforce the Philippines with additional forces. So let's go ahead and clear Season 35. All right, so the U.S. is attacking. Correction, the Japanese are attacking with 1 fighter that will be attacking with 1 die at 4. Okay, 1 fighter with a 3 or less, and a destroyer with 2 or less. Okay, the Anzac submarine will defend. Okay, and will defend, and that submarine will roll with 1 or less. Okay, so here we go. All right. Okay, I got 1 hit. My tactical bomber actually scored a hit. The defending Anzac submarine will roll. It needs to hit a 1 or less. And it was a miss, guys. There you go. So let's eliminate this Anzac submarine. It's out of Season 35. It's been sunk to the bottom of the sea. Let's get rid of these battle markers. All right, let's go over to Season number 20. Okay, in this season, you have 1 Japanese fighter attacking at a 3. Then you have a Japanese submarine attacking at a 2. And you have 1 Anzac destroyer defending at a 2. So these are the Japanese and these are the Anzacs. So let's go ahead. These are the attacking Japanese, 1 fighter and 1 submarine. Here we go. And they both missed. Oh, not good. All right, so here we go. Let's roll for that Anzac Destroyer. And it scored a hit. Ooh, I don't like that. All right, so then what am I going to do? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to call off the attack. I'm not going to pursue the matter. I'll just sustain, I'll eliminate my submarine from that attack. The Anzacs were successful, and that Anzac submarine, destroyer gets to live another day. All right, so let's go then with the battle for Season 26, and that is not Season 26, but for the Hawaiian Islands. In this instance, you'll have, let me not make a mistake here, because this is one of those battles where I have to remove my Japanese battleship, the Nagato, after the first round of battle. So I'll be attacking with 1 at 4 for my battleship, right? I'll be attacking with 1 at 3 for my tactical bomber. Then I have 2 infantry and 2 artilleries, and they're all 4 attack with 4 at 2. Right? The defending forces consist of 2 infantry, 1 mechanized, 1 regular infantry, and the fighter squadron that defends with a 4. All right, so let's roll. Let me bring my cup over, and let's roll. Okay. Here we go, guys. The Japanese need to take the Hawaiian Islands. It's a must if the Axis are to win this game. All right, so here we go. The Japanese scored 2 hits, right? Yeah, 2 hits. All right, I'll take that. I'll take that, absolutely. The Allies will defend now. Here we go, guys. Oh, excellent, beautiful. The Allies did not return any fire whatsoever. No positive strikes. So I'm going to assume that the Allies will be removing the 1 infantry and the 1 mechanized infantry. Okay, remaining in the battle will be the Anzac fighter squadron. All right, so now I have to remove the second sequence of battle. I got to remove the battleship, because battleship is no longer participating in the attack. So I'll be attacking with 1 at 3 and 4 at 2. Here we go. What was it? Yeah, 4 at 2 and 1 at 3. Okay, that's it. 2 hits, and that's more than enough for the Japanese forces to take Hawaii. Okay, but that fighter still gets to defend at a die roll of 4 or less. There we go. And it missed. Wow. Excellent. So let's remove that fighter. That fighter now is decommissioned. It's been shot down over the skies of Honolulu. All right. And you now have 2 infantry and 2 Japanese artillery divisions. Grand total of 4 ground divisions defending or taking over Hawaii. Okay. So I believe that does it for my battles. All of the battles that I needed to take care of have been resolved. Let's go ahead then with my non-combat movements. Okay, let's start here. I'll be moving 1 Japanese infantry division from Burma into India. These 2 infantry divisions in Shan State will head west and will move into Burma. In addition, this artillery division in French Indochina will be railed at a movement of 1 and 2. So currently in Burma, you'll have 5 infantry and infantry divisions and 1 artillery division in Burma. Excuse me. All right. In Kwangsi, you have 3 Japanese infantry divisions. They'll be moving south and will occupy French Indochina. Excuse me. All right. What else? Okay, the rest of the fleet in Season 33 will make steam and at a movement of 1, 2, and 3 will end up in or link up with the rest of the Japanese submarine fleet in Season 42. All right, so that's 2 carriers, 1 cruiser, and 2 submarines currently in Season 42. The 2 fighter squadrons and 1 tactical bomber squadron in Season 46. All these aircraft have 3 movements left in the fuel gauges. They'll move 1 and 2. These aircraft will now be landing on the carriers. Okay, that's Season 42. All right, let's go over to Over the Skies in Season 35. You have 1 tactical bomber that has 2 movements left in its fuel gauge. It'll continue flying at a movement of 1 and 2. It'll link up with the rest of the Japanese Navy and land on one of the carriers in Season 42. Okay. The other fighter that participated in the attack on Season 35 will be landing, still has 1 movement left in its fuel gauge. It'll be landing in Manila. The other fighter that participated in the attack on Season 20, okay, that fighter will continue and at a movement of, it still has 2 movements left in its fuel gauge at a movement of 1 and 2. Why did I remove this guy from the stand? I don't know. All right, so let's continue with the other non-combat movements that we have left. You have 2 fighters, Season 33, okay, that came from the carriers that were here. Okay, these 2 fighters will be moving at a movement of 1, 2, and 3. They'll be landing on the Japanese carrier coming from Season 25. Okay, all of these fighters, including the fighter that attacked the Hawaiian Islands, will be landing on the Japanese carrier that is now in Season 26. All right, what am I forgetting here? Let me see, what else? All right, Season 35 has been cleared. I have 1 Japanese naval transport coming from Season 6 at a movement of 1, 2, and 3 will unload its cargo of 2 infantry into Manila. Okay? All right, let me see. What do I do with that destroyer that is still here? Season 26, Season 6. Yeah, it's a useless gesture. Okay, the Japanese destroyer in Season 6 will move east and will go to Season 26 at a movement of 1, 2, and 3. So it'll link up with, goes like this, guys. 1, 2, and 3 will link up with the rest of the Japanese fleet in Season number 26. All right. All right. I'm almost out of breath. Shouldn't be. That means I'm not breathing enough. Okay, guys. So I don't see any other movements. I believe I've pretty much covered all the movements that I needed to cover. Let me remove all these chips, just in case if I'm forgetting something. All right. Okay, guys. So I believe that's it for my non-combat movements. I'm going to go ahead with my final placements of newly purchased units. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these 3 fighters. They're going to go onto Calcutta. So Calcutta, you'll have 3 fighters being placed there. Then I'm going to place the 3 infantry divisions that I just recruited, and they're going to be placed in French Indochina. All right, I'm not going to even bother with the income tracker. You guys very well know that it's not really necessary. There will be no round 9, so it's pointless even counting what I have right now, what the Japanese have. So then what I'm going to do is I am going to recap the disposition of forces, and they go as follows. India, you have 3 fighter squadrons, 1 infantry. Okay, Burma, you have 5 infantry, 1 artillery. French Indochina, you have 6 infantry. Sumatra, 1 artillery. Season 42, you have 2 carriers, 1 cruiser, 2 submarines, 2 fighters, and 2 tactical bombers. New Britain, you have 2 infantry. Season 35, 1 naval transport and 1 destroyer. The Philippine Islands, 2 fighters and 2 infantry. What else? Okay, let's go over to Season 26, where I have 2 naval transports, 1 carrier, 2 destroyers, 1 submarine, battleship Nagato, 2 fighters, and a tactical bomber. In the Philippine Islands, I have 2 infantry and 2 artillery. The Aleutian Islands, I have 2 infantry. Season 8, 1 naval transport. Korea, I have 2 infantry. Japan proper, I have 2 infantry and 3 triple A's. Right? Guys, I think that does it for my turn here for Japan, Imperial Japan. It is now the USA's turn. And of course, USA is under the command of G.I. Joe, who I'm sure has, a series of decisions to make. What will he do? He still has a fleet, Season 54. He still has 1 naval transport and 1 U.S. infantry. What can he actually do with that? He could do plenty of damage, I can guarantee you. So, don't let the size of that force fool you. Okay, and I do not underestimate the Allies one bit. Of course, G.I. Joe is also in control of Anzac, which means he has 1 naval transport. Hey, and look, 1 artillery division still in Queensland. So he's got options. I mean, the odds are against the U.S. and the Anzacs here in the Pacific, but you never know. Lady Luck is a funny lady. All right, so then I think that's about it, guys. Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode as always, and I know I have. It's going to be very interesting. We really don't know who will win and who will lose. It's still an uphill struggle for the Axis, but I have faith that the Axis powers can pull this game off at the very end. All right, guys, as I like to say, don't forget to bunker down.